So this session and the rest of the day is going to be a very practical, what can we do kind of focus. But I'd like to start out with just a brief theoretical, conceptual framework to sort of put things in context. I talked yesterday about ecological economics. One of the things that ecological economics does is it provides a goal or a destination for degrowth. I mean, obviously we don't want to degrow into oblivion. We have to degrow toward a target or destination. And the idea of a steady state economy, one that uses material throughput in a way that allows nature to regenerate both the sources which are extracted and the sinks into which we put our wastes. So that it's that material throughput that we have to reduce. And I think it's really important that we keep our focus on the reduction of material throughput in everything that we do. That's our target, that's our big challenge. It's that material throughput that is doing the ecological damage that needs to be restored and regenerated. So, having said that, the whole idea of resilient communities was, I think, expressed beautifully by Lana yesterday. That whole idea of the iwi resilience really captures what I think of in terms of resilient communities from a degrowth perspective. She talked about willingness to be using less electricity, willingness to simplify food sources. Those are things that we need to learn from and embrace. The whole idea of reducing material throughput really brings us to the issue of the kind of culture we have. And we have an extractive culture right now, a mining culture. And that's what allows us to exceed the material throughput that's sustainable. We have to start thinking about how we can live well within a harvest culture. That's something we did before the advent of fossil fuels. All of our food, fuel, and fiber came from biomass, came from regenerative biosphere. That's where we're going. The more we can understand that and embrace that and adjust our expectations to live well within the limitations of what that regenerative capacity and assimilative capacities allow, the easier our journey will be. One of the things about the whole idea of resilient communities is that it really brings together a range of challenges that we have right now. We have natural disasters that we in New Zealand particularly have to be concerned about. We have disasters triggered by climate change, and we need to adapt. And we have this whole idea of needing to degrow our material throughput in order to live, to embrace one planet living. So the disaster management and the climate adaptation activities and the degrowth activities really converge. There's a lot of similarities here. And I think that's a real strength of the idea of resilient communities, is that we can deal with multiple challenges by a focus on building resilient communities from a degrowth perspective. As Nate suggested, it means simplifying things. It means relying on what we can harvest, what we can regenerate. It's probably going to mean more localization, because that's what we can control in terms of the biomass availability to us. And it also allows us to ensure we have control over things. Being where we are geographically, we're at the end of everybody's supply chain. Any imports that we rely on to meet our basic needs are going to create difficulties for us. You know, the other emphasis I wanted to repeat is the focus on universal basic needs. Whether we talk of it in terms of security, however we think about it, there are universal basic needs. And the more we focus on those and ensuring that we can meet them for everyone in a democratically determined way, the better. We'll now turn to Emma, who can tell us about the experiences she's had with the difficulties in the North Island and how she dealt with them.